been traveled through many elite places. I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, still under the custody of Child Protective Services, the child welfare system. And everybody is so worried about the elite, and we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes, all over the place.
Beyonce was on that island where they was kids.
Katt Williams just set the whole industry on edge again after backing up everything Ally Carter said about her time connected to Epstein Island. What really has people nervous are the names Katt mentioned, because these are not the kind of people anyone expected to be tied to something like that. It gets even wilder. Denzel Washington's name even came up in the conversation, which shows just how shocking this situation feels to a lot of people. Ally was one of the only voices speaking out about what she claims was happening, but instead of support, many people quickly dismissed her and called her unstable because her story sounded too disturbing for them to process. She says she has a full hard drive, documents, and sworn statements with evidence, and she's getting ready to release everything publicly very soon. For those who don't know, Ally Carter says she is a survivor connected to the entertainment world, and she's been consistently trying to call out what she believes is going on behind the scenes. She claims she was taken and kept in hidden underground locations for years, along with others, where disturbing ceremonies were carried out. According to her, they were held in harsh conditions and controlled while powerful groups performed secret practices. She also says these events happened when she was under 18, which makes the claims even more serious and difficult to ignore. When she first came out with these claims, people immediately started questioning her, and for two big reasons. First, they kept asking, where are the parents in all of this? And how could something like this even happen without someone stepping in? And second, a lot of people felt her story sounded way too extreme to believe, almost like it was too dark for them to even process. The truth is, many people don't want to face the idea that something like this could exist. It's easier to stay comfortable, believing the celebrities they admire are good people instead of facing the possibility that there could be something much deeper going on. But according to Ally, that comfortable image isn't reality, and she's been trying for years to get people to pay attention and question what's really happening behind closed doors. Now here's where things take a sharp turn. Ally also claims she got pulled into all of this because she is allegedly the secret daughter of Tupac. She says that because of that connection, there were people who didn't want her anywhere near his legacy, estate, or publishing rights, and that's how she ended up caught in this situation. And once she started speaking out and naming what she believes is happening, everything around her only got more intense. She says her life was put at risk and things got serious fast. Reports claim she was even scheduled to testify in the Diddy trial, but then suddenly she vanished right before her court date, which raised a lot of eyebrows. After she posted a video saying she felt unsafe and believed her life was in danger, there were claims that federal authorities stepped in and placed her under protection. Now here's the part that really stands out. Ally reportedly wasn't even surprised by the lack of support from officials. She believed that people in power have influence in places most don't expect. So what frustrated her more was how everyday people kept brushing her off and calling her unstable, when she insists she was only trying to speak on what she experienced behind closed doors. And it's important to point out, she wasn't out here making money off these claims. She was posting videos, sharing her story, and explaining what she says she went through over the years. Things escalated even more when she submitted a sworn statement where she directly named several celebrities she claims to have seen involved in these situations. The names listed caught people off guard, including Birdman, Diddy, Denzel Washington, Young Jock, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. In that statement, she described a disturbing situation, saying people were placed on a table and made to wait for others to choose them. She claimed that after interactions, they were returned to the same setting, where the cycle would continue with someone else stepping in. She described being put in deeply disturbing situations, saying, I had to sleep with so many people. Fetishes were happening everywhere, and they kind of separated them into areas. She went on to explain how different activities were happening in different sections, claiming it was all organized in a way that made everything feel controlled and calculated. She also said, I had to sit on the party favor table and wait to be chosen the way someone would choose a gift bag off the table at a birthday party, painting a picture that's hard for many people to even process. Some of the details she shared are so graphic that they aren't appropriate to fully repeat here. Because of how intense her claims are, many people have gone off to do their own research, comparing what she said with information that has surfaced in connection to Epstein-related reports. Some believe that if authorities had taken her more seriously from the start, certain locations and claims she mentioned might have been looked into much earlier. While a lot of people were doubting her or outright calling her a liar, one person who seemed to support her perspective was Katt Williams. People have started connecting the dots between what he said over the years and what Allie has been claiming, and to some, it feels like the stories line up in surprising ways. Think back to when Katt Williams faced backlash for saying he refused to be emasculated by the industry, including rejecting roles that didn't sit right with him. Now, some are questioning whether there's a deeper conversation happening here, especially as more discussions surface about how power and image can be shaped behind the scenes. In the leaked Epstein-related documents, there were claims about conversations between Epstein and biologist Robert Trivers that really caught people's attention. The discussion reportedly touched on ideas about altering traits in men and women, which immediately sparked controversy and concern. There were also mentions of email exchanges where Epstein asked questions related to biology and gender development, and Trivers responded with theoretical possibilities about how certain traits could be influenced at a biological level.
Containers with his shipment of there were in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move.
Talking about the victims that are still going through the right now with other people who are running the cover and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey.
One part of the message stood out to a lot of readers, stating, "By the way, we are now pushing the intervention earlier. So you notice your son has trans tendencies. So now you intervene with hormones." I would be frightened to do that, but who knows? That quote alone had people debating what was actually being discussed and whether it was being taken out of context. Now connect that to what Katt Williams said during his appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast. He spoke about unusual ceremonies and hinted that some powerful figures might follow belief systems that most people wouldn't even recognize. When people started comparing those statements with what showed up in these documents, it only added more fuel to the conversations already happening. Katt didn't stop there either. He made it clear that in his view, the people who hold the most power in the entertainment industry operate on a level that most can't fully see or understand. He even said it took going through repeated challenges before he realized what he believes he was up against, making it clear that, in his words, there's always a price tied to that level of power. And according to what Katt Williams has suggested, going against powerful people in that system comes with consequences. You don't just walk away untouched. He made it sound like anyone who challenges that level of influence ends up paying a price. That's why some believe what happened to Allie and Katt ties into that same pattern. Yet both of them stayed firm on what they said and refused to back down. And now more people are starting to pay attention to their claims. Jay-Z's name also came up in connection with these conversations, which added even more shock to the situation. There were mentions of him being present at high-profile events alongside controversial figures, including gatherings linked to Diddy, and people quickly started analyzing old photos and appearances. At the same time, fans noticed moments where Jay-Z and Denzel Washington didn't seem as close as before, including a clip where Denzel appeared to avoid interaction at a game, which only fueled more speculation online. There are also claims suggesting that Denzel may have distanced himself from certain environments over time and leaned more into his personal beliefs, though none of that has been confirmed publicly. Still, that hasn't stopped people from trying to connect dots and build their own theories about what could have happened behind the scenes. And when it comes to unusual claims, a 2024 clip of MIA made waves as well, where she alleged that Jay-Z and Beyoncé pressured her into making certain decisions about her image and participating in symbolic acts during performances. Those statements stirred even more debate, especially as people continue questioning how much of the industry operates in ways the public never fully sees. Now here's where everything starts to spiral even further, because people aren't just looking at individual claims anymore. They're starting to connect patterns across multiple stories. When different names, events, and statements keep overlapping, it makes people wonder if there's something bigger being hidden in plain sight. A lot of online discussions are now focused on how long these kinds of allegations have been circulating without being taken seriously. Some are pointing out that stories like Allie's didn't just appear overnight. She had been speaking out for years, but was mostly ignored or dismissed until bigger names and documents started entering the conversation. At the same time, others are urging caution, saying it's important to separate verified facts from speculation, especially when so many serious accusations are being discussed. Still, that hasn't slowed down the momentum, because every new clip, interview, or resurfaced document adds another layer that people feel can't be ignored.
Roads that people take pride in sticking bars of children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang upside down in satanic ritual meetings, and they literally hang them. Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood.
Really keeping attention locked in is the idea that if even a small part of these claims turns out to be true, it could completely change how people view power, fame, and influence in the entertainment world. And with more individuals speaking out, directly or indirectly, the pressure keeps building. Now people are watching closely, waiting to see what gets confirmed, what gets denied, and who might speak up next. Because this situation doesn't look like it's fading anytime soon. And now the spotlight is getting even hotter because people are starting to ask one big question. Who else hasn't spoken yet? And why? The silence from certain major names is making things feel even more intense, especially as these conversations keep spreading across social media. Some insiders and commentators are hinting that this might only be the surface level, suggesting there could be more information that hasn't come out yet. That idea alone has people watching every interview, every post, and every public appearance a little more closely, trying to read between the lines. At the same time, others are pushing back hard, saying a lot of these claims still need solid proof before anyone jumps to conclusions. The divide is clear. Some people are convinced there's something major being exposed, while others believe it's all being blown out of proportion. But regardless of which side people are on, one thing is certain. This conversation isn't going away anytime soon. And with Ali reportedly preparing to release more of what she claims to have, the tension is only building. If she actually drops documents, recordings, or anything that supports her story, it could shift everything overnight and force a lot of people to respond publicly. Right now, it feels like the calm before something bigger, because everyone is waiting for that next moment that could either confirm everything or flip the entire narrative upside down. Now everything is building toward one moment. What actually happens when all of this finally hits the public in full detail? Because if these claim files, statements, or recordings really come out, there's no way this stays quiet anymore. People are already saying that the industry might be heading into a major shakeup where reputations, partnerships, and entire careers could be put under pressure overnight. And you can feel that tension right now because some celebrities are staying unusually quiet while others are moving very carefully in public. At the same time, there are still many who are warning not to treat every claim as fact without clear proof. They're reminding everyone that serious accusations need real evidence, not just viral clips and online theories. But even with that pushback, the level of attention this situation is getting keeps growing by the day. What's making this even more intense is how fast information spreads now. One post, one leak, or one statement can shift public opinion instantly. That means if anything new drops, it won't take long before the entire world is reacting in real time. Right now, it feels like everything is on standby, just waiting for that one reveal that could either confirm the suspicions people have been building or completely change the direction of the story. Either way, all eyes are locked in because something big feels like it's right around the corner. And the internet, it's going off right now, with people picking sides and speaking up loud. One person said, "I believe Ali. I always have. She gave great details, names, and she has documentation. She reported the tunnels, children in cages, party favors, and satanic worship. She described the MK Ultra conditioning from the time she came forward. She has been threatened and hunted down for years. She deserves to be heard." That comment alone has been getting a lot of attention, with others jumping in to agree or challenge it. Another person added, "I have been asking for years where the foster care children were and who was watching those foster parents. I have long said that CPS was more of a detriment to kids." And that opened up a whole different conversation that people weren't expecting. Now you got multiple debates happening at once, and it's getting intense. So now it comes down to you. What do you actually think about Katt Williams backing Ally Carter and speaking out about these Epstein-related claims? And do you believe what Ally says happened to her could be part of something bigger? Or is this all being taken too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is far from over. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, because this situation keeps getting deeper by the day.